What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and it's that time again. Time to get excited for the next Overwatch 2 season. In this case, a very, very special upcoming season, Season 21, which not only is the first new season of 2026, but also is likely the biggest season we've seen in a while, as it is indeed the yearly Overwatch 2 shakeup season, where we're expecting to get some pretty big changes coming for the game. All this on top of some pretty major teasers we've already been getting. I think it's safe to say that Season 21 is going to be quite worth tuning in for. So in this video, I want to cover everything we actually know so far about Season 21, from its start date to new content, what we could possibly see with new heroes, and all those other juicy details. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in, starting off first and foremost with the start date, which will be Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Yes, it is coming up very shortly, so if you have not finished your Season 20 Battle Pass yet, be sure to get that done, because that's when the Season 20 will be ending, no more Battle Pass progress. Make sure you have it all finished by the 10th, before things move on to Season 21. Alright, so what now can we expect when it comes to Season 21? Well, at the moment things are kind of hard to pin down, because while there's been a lot going on in the way of kind of teasing new content, we also don't have too much specific in terms of what to expect specifically for Season 21. So let's go ahead and tackle some of the broader strokes first. The first of these being the Talon takeover. Yes, this has been a pretty big thing that is still ongoing, at least at the time of me recording this video, where Talon has taken over not only Overwatch the game by introducing their own UI into the game with a new Talon logo, but also the Overwatch social media accounts. At the time being, we have no idea how long exactly this will last. Will it be up until the start of Season 21? Maybe. But at least for the time being, clearly Blizzard is teasing something. Something that more than likely has to do with, well, Talon, obviously, but also more specifically Vendetta, the newest hero currently in Overwatch. And this might even be giving us some good indicators as for what to expect content-wise come the new season, especially in the cosmetics department, but I'm going to hold off on talking about cosmetics until a bit later in the video, because first I want to talk more about the major gameplay changes we're likely to see. Because as I mentioned in the opening, this is a mix-up or shake-up season, which Blizzard does for the first season every year, where they historically have implemented pretty major gameplay changes. Last year, we not only got perks added to the core modes of the game, but also Stadium, which was its own massive mode, bigger than just about anything else we'd otherwise seen added to Overwatch in its entire history. And so far, the devs have been teasing that Season 21 is going to be introducing something pretty big. And while they haven't specified what it is, I think it's safe to say that at least some of it will be hitting the gameplay side of Overwatch. And we may even have a few leads on what that could be. This most recent Halloween Terror event featured the Masquerade game mode, which was a mode that more or less boiled down to team-up mechanics being played around with, where characters can copy other heroes to an extent to gain some of their abilities, and if you have two particular heroes on a given team that happen to work well together, well then they would get an extra added bonus on top of that. It's a mechanic taken straight from Marvel Rivals, which is where the term team-ups comes from. And based on what they've done with Halloween Terror this past year, it's possible this is something we'll see coming to the core game for Overwatch 2 with Season 21. Now, so far there's been a pretty mixed response to this as a potential mechanic. Personally, I'll say I am not a big fan of it as a mechanic in the game, but we'll have to wait and see how Blizzard incorporates it, if it is in fact something they're planning on adding, but it would certainly check that box of a gameplay change for them to add in the first season of the year. Beyond just gameplay though, it also seems that Blizzard is focusing heavily on story leading into Season 21, with primarily, again, everything happening with Talon and Vendetta. Not only did we fairly recently get the addition of the in-game story tab, basically, that features all recent story tidbits and hero origin stories and cinematics and whatnot, but also we've been seeing a pretty substantial push in the addition of more of this type of story content in recent weeks leading up to Season 21. Some of them even being pretty significant, especially the comic which introduced Emre, as we're likely to end up seeing him one day as a playable hero in-game. So while it's unclear at this point what this may end up being in terms of an actual gameplay component of Overwatch, there is definitely an emphasis on story currently, and we're likely to see this building up to stuff that plays into Season 21. Now, the other major thing to talk about here when it comes to the upcoming season is also the Spotlight event, which was just recently announced to be happening on February 4th, about a week ahead of the launch of Season 21. Now, I already did a video covering everything we know about this upcoming Spotlight event and what all we can expect from it. I would recommend checking that out after watching this video if you haven't seen it already, but more or less the Spotlight is when I'm expecting us to get a lot of the major reveals for what's actually going to be happening in Season 21, things like the gameplay trailer, likely the reveal of the mythic skins and other cosmetics, along with whatever sort of gameplay changes are going to be a part of it, and any story content, however that ends up fitting in. So certainly this is going to be an event that you won't want to miss out on, and I personally will be streaming it live when it airs, so that we can all watch it together and see what's in store for Season 21 and everything else beyond. But now getting back to Season 21 specifically, beyond just the base expectations of what we're going to get with a new season, specifically the first season of a given year, what are some other things we might see added? More speculation side of things. Well, when it comes to cosmetics, we can expect there to likely once again be 2 new mythic skins, as has been the case for the past couple seasons now, in addition to a mythic weapon. And as for which heroes will be getting said skins and weapon, well, it's pretty hard to say. At this point, Blizzard has pretty much completely abandoned any sort of theming, rhyme, or reason as for who gets what mythic and what kind of mythic skin that actually ends up being. So I don't know, pick your favorite hero, and if it's a hero that tends to get a lot of skins, there's a good chance that they'll end up getting a mythic, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a mythic for one of the newer heroes like Freya, Wuyong, or even Vendetta, since so far none of them have gotten a mythic skin, but it could also just as easily be going for someone older. We'll honestly just have to wait and see. Outside of just mythics though, there will of course be a battle pass and a bunch of skins both in it and the shop, and while we don't have anything clear cut in terms of the theming of the skins we'll be getting this season, I can't help but feel like the Talon takeover we've been seeing happen to Overwatch might be kind of hinting at least one of the major themes we see in Season 21. Perhaps a bunch of heroes, be they Talon heroes or otherwise, will end up getting Talon-themed skins, similar to what we saw at the Mirrorwatch season a couple years ago, where there's a focus on story-themed cosmetics, basically, as one of the major themes of that season. Now, I don't expect that Talon will be the only theme we get for Season 21, as in recent Overwatch history, there have been multiple sort of like sub-themes, basically, per season. So while Talon might be the overarching theme of Season 21, I expect we'll be getting a variety of things, regardless of that. I'm sure at least some of the past survey skins we've seen over the past year or so will make it into the season, as well as at this point basically every season has at least a few survey skins show up as actual cosmetics in game. But as for which of these past skins end up showing up is anyone's guess. It's been very sporadic in terms of which ones actually end up becoming real skins, so pick your favorites, cross your fingers, and hope those are the ones that we end up seeing. Outside of cosmetics though, what about some of the other big things we tend to look forward to, being heroes and maps? Well, Season 21 is an odd-numbered season, which means going by historical trends, we're not expecting to see a new hero added in Season 21, but we will likely be getting the hero trial for whoever gets added as the new hero in Season 22 toward the end of Season 21. We'll likely already know who this hero is going into Season 21 because they'll almost certainly be revealed during the 2026 Spotlight event, but again, at the time of me recording this video, we don't know who exactly that's going to be just yet. There are a few candidates that seem very likely and that Blizzard has been seemingly putting a lot of emphasis on them, characters like Emre and Anrin, but we might even get blindsided by a total rando again, as has historically happened a number of times. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Very curious to see what all ends up getting revealed at Spotlight this year. But aside from heroes, what about maps? Maps are something that, at least when it comes to the core game of Overwatch for the past year, has been pretty horribly underrepresented. The only non-stadium map we had added to Overwatch over 2026 was Atlas, a map which personally I'm actually quite a big fan of, but unfortunately was the only one added. So hopefully we see some of those other maps that have been teased for more than a year now at this point, maps like the Atlantic Arcology finally coming to the game not only in 2026, but ideally maybe even in Season 21. Again, maybe that's wishful thinking. Blizzard seems to only care about making stadium maps these days. But you know, I would love it if we got another core mode map, preferably even a payload map maybe, since it's been an eternity since we've gotten one of those. But again, at this point in time, we don't have confirmation that Season 21 will be adding a new map. It is just optimistic speculation, but I'm sure we'll find out one way or the other with the said Spotlight event. Speaking of Stadium though, I'm willing to bet we'll be seeing some Stadium content added as well, be that more heroes added to the Stadium roster from the existing main mode rosters, or maybe even another new Stadium map or other little tweaks and balance changes to the mode. I think it's very likely we see something happen in this regard. Again, Stadium is a mode that I personally do not play, it's not my cup of tea, and based on my channel data, apparently most of you don't really care for Stadium either, so I'm not going to spend much time really talking about it here, even if there is a chance we see some exciting stuff come for the mode, and I certainly hope those of you who do enjoy Stadium end up getting something worthwhile for the mode in Season 21, but by and large, that's just not really the focus here. And then the last thing we can expect with Season 21, as part of it being the yearly refresh season, is a rank reset. This is something they do periodically just to enhance the competitive experience, I guess. I don't know, I'm not someone who plays a lot of competitive, but with it, we're also expecting to get a brand new competitive reward in the form of a new weapon variant. Originally, we of course had gold, then jade, then the galactic weapon skin is the one we had for 2025, meaning that a brand new one is expected to be added in Season 21 for the year of 2026. Once again, though, we don't know what exactly it's gonna be. Depending on how Blizzard wants to play it, maybe they could go with a red color scheme, be it a ruby or some sort of red energy type thing to reflect the whole Talon theming they seem to be going for at the moment, but that's just an idea. There's tons of different things they could do. They could go for a blue sapphire, they could go for a more white pearly diamond-esque color, or maybe even something ugly like a rusty color scheme. I don't know, they could do anything. Either way, it's another thing I'm expecting to get revealed during the Spotlight event, and I am curious to see what they do for it this year. And on that note, that does it for everything we can expect and potentially look forward to with Season 21. Again, we're very much at a point right now where we're kind of just waiting to see what Blizzard does. The Spotlight event specifically is more than likely when we're going to get the big reveal of what to actually expect in Season 21. And in the meantime, it's all just little tidbits and teasers that Blizzard is sneaking out in preparation for Spotlight. So I would certainly love to hear your thoughts, hopes, and expectations for this new season in the comments down below. Are there any particular core changes to the gameplay of Overwatch that you're hoping Blizzard will implement, or maybe certain cosmetic themes you're hoping Blizzard taps into when it comes to the skins we get? Or maybe you're just excited to potentially see a ramping up of the story with everything they're teasing so far with Vendetta and Talon. Regardless of what you're interested in, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news, streams, and other content, and special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible. If you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. And otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.